60 million years ago, in a hot and damp swamp, the ground is warm, the air is thick, and a terrifying snake lurks in the water. It was the largest snake in the world, known for its size and power. A snake so massive, it could crush a crocodile without breaking a sweat. This was Titanoboa, a giant of the prehistoric world that ruled the swamps. Titanoboa wasn't just big, it was a monster. At 42 feet long and over 2,500 pounds, it could easily meet the eyes of someone standing on the second floor of a building. Just imagine the sheer power it held in its coiled body. But here's what makes it even more intriguing. How did Titanoboa grow to such an incredible size? What conditions helped it thrive in the steamy ancient jungles? And the biggest mystery of all, why did this powerful predator disappear forever? In today's video, we'll uncover the secrets of Titanoboa's world. From its hunting strategies to the mystery of its extinction, I'll take you on a journey back in time. And if you're fascinated by creatures like this, don't forget to subscribe. There's so much more to discover together.
Titanoboa, the name of fear.
Titanoboa, where size met terror.
The Paleocene epoch seems like a distant mystery, doesn't it? After the mass extinction, the world was reshaped. The dinosaurs were gone, and life was beginning again. The Earth back then was warm, much warmer than today. Dense tropical forests spread across the land, creating a thick, humid atmosphere. Swamps and shallow seas filled the landscape, offering the perfect environment for some of the largest reptiles to thrive. One fascinating place from this time is the Sarijan coal mine in Colombia. Today, it's a busy mining site, but 60 million years ago, it was part of a vast swampy world where Titanoboa lived. When its fossils were discovered here, it revealed the scale of that ancient ecosystem. This wasn't just any swamp. It was home to massive creatures like giant crocodiles and turtles, all living together in the same lush environment. It's incredible to think how these ancient swamps were similar to places like the Amazon rainforest or the Everglades today. Both are warm, humid, and full of life. But the Paleocene swamps were wild, untouched by humans, and full of giants. Titanoboa wasn't just part of this world, it was shaped by it. The warm climate and abundant resources helped this snake grow to extraordinary sizes. The world around it provided everything needed to dominate the ecosystem. This wasn't just a home for Titanoboa. It was its kingdom, where it ruled with unmatched power. It's fascinating how nature creates such perfect conditions for life to evolve in remarkable ways. Titanoboa was no ordinary snake. It was a true giant, the undisputed king of the snake world. Its size is hard to comprehend. This snake wasn't just long, it was massive in every way. On average, Titanoboa measured around 13 meters, 42 feet in length. That's longer than a school bus. And its weight, a staggering 2,500 pounds, which is about the same as a small car. What makes Titanoboa even more fascinating is its structure. Scientists discovered over 250 vertebrae from its fossils, each one showing just how enormous and powerful this creature was. Modern snakes like anacondas and pythons don't even come close. Anacondas, the largest snakes alive today, typically grow to about 6.5 meters, with rare exceptions reaching up to 9 meters. Even at their biggest, they're less than half the size of Titanoboa. The fossils found in Colombia revealed not just the snake's size, but also its remarkable anatomy. They discovered vertebrae, ribs, and even a nearly complete skull, something extremely rare in snake fossils. This skull alone gave scientists vital clues about how Titanoboa lived, hunted, and thrived. Seeing this creature in its prime must have been an awe-inspiring experience. Picture walking through the dense swamps of the Paleocene, and there, coiled among the trees or lurking in the murky water, is Titanoboa. This massive snake-like shadow that could easily overpower anything in its path. Its size wasn't just impressive, it was a survival advantage, making it the apex predator of its time. When comparing it to today's snakes, Titanoboa seems almost unreal. It wasn't just larger, it was on an entirely different scale, a reminder of how ancient ecosystems produced creatures beyond imagination. Titanoboa's place in the snake family tree is fascinating. Despite its terrifying size, it shares a connection with modern snakes, like anacondas and boa constrictors. These modern relatives may not be as massive, but they belong to the same family, Boidae. It's interesting to think that boa constrictors and anacondas are distant cousins of Titanoboa. The Boidae family has produced some remarkable creatures, but none come close to Titanoboa's enormous size. One topic that has sparked debate among scientists is which modern relative Titanoboa resembles the most. Is it closer to the anaconda, with its preference for aquatic environments? Or does it share more traits with boas, which can thrive in various habitats? Fossil evidence has led to many discussions, but no clear answer has been reached. What is certain is that Titanoboa's unique features set it apart from any snake seen today. Unlike modern venomous snakes, Titanoboa didn't rely on venom to hunt or defend itself. Instead, it used its massive size and strength. Its main hunting method was constriction. Titanoboa would wrap its enormous body around its prey, applying pressure so intense that escape was impossible. With its strength, it didn't need venom. It was a living powerhouse. Thinking about these evolutionary connections shows how nature adapts over time. Titanoboa was perfectly suited for its world, just as today's boas and anacondas are for theirs. Despite the millions of years that separate them, the link between them remains, like a family resemblance that spans ages, reminding us of Earth's incredible history. Titanoboa's survival in the ancient world was closely linked to the warm climate. Being cold-blooded or poikilothermic, Titanoboa couldn't generate its own body heat. Like mammals, instead, it relied entirely on the environment to regulate its temperature. For a creature of such immense size, this was both a blessing and a necessity. Around 60 million years ago, during the Paleocene epoch, the world was much warmer than today, almost like a giant, steamy greenhouse. This warmth was more than just comfortable. It was crucial. Titanoboa's massive body needed a steady metabolism to function, and the heat of the Paleocene provided exactly what was needed. Without that warmth, such large reptiles simply couldn't survive. What stands out is the connection between climate and size. In today's cooler world, large cold-blooded reptiles like Titanoboa couldn't survive because they wouldn't be able to maintain enough energy for their size. But back then, in the hot and humid swamps, Titanoboa could grow to a staggering 42 feet and thrive effortlessly. The explanation is simple. The hotter the environment, the more energy a cold-blooded creature can sustain. It's like a natural power boost for their metabolism. That's why the Paleocene climate wasn't just a backdrop. It was a driving force that helped shape life on Earth. This balance in nature shows how everything is connected. Titanoboa wasn't just a product of its size or strength. It was a result of the world it lived in. The warm temperatures, lush swamps, and rich ecosystems of the Paleocene all worked together, making Titanoboa one of the most impressive creatures to ever live. When imagining Titanoboa lurking in the murky waters of the Paleocene, one question comes to mind. Was it an apex predator that ruled with sheer power, or an opportunist that thrived on easy kills? To answer that, Let's explore its hunting grounds and understand how this massive snake operated. Titanoboa's hunting style was all about stealth and precision. Picture it coiled in the shadows, its enormous body blending perfectly with the swamp. Unlike venomous snakes that strike and wait for their toxins to work, Titanoboa relied on raw strength. Once its jaws locked onto a victim, it was over. With bone-crushing constriction, Titanoboa could squeeze the life out of anything, from crocodiles to large reptiles. It wasn't just a hunter, it was a living vice grip. What makes Titanoboa even more fascinating is how it wasn't picky about its meals. While crocodiles were definitely on the menu, the giant snake didn't stop there. Fish, turtles, and even other snakes were fair game. Imagine a creature so dominant that even other large constrictors like boas and pythons could become its next meal. It's a chilling thought. Looking at modern predators for comparison, Titanoboa was quite different. It wasn't about speed or agility. Instead, it relied on its overwhelming size and ambush tactics. In today's world, predators like crocodiles or jaguars use bursts of speed to catch prey. Titanoboa didn't need to. It would wait motionless, biding its time, watching for the perfect moment to strike. Titanoboa wasn't just an apex predator. It was nature's ultimate opportunist. Whether crushing a crocodile or swallowing a fish whole, it dominated its environment with strength and strategy. This combination of power and cunning makes it one of the most fascinating creatures to ever slither across Earth. Titanoboa's reproduction and life cycle were as fascinating as its massive size. Like modern snakes, it likely reproduced sexually, with internal fertilization. The warm, humid environment of the Paleocene swamps would have provided an ideal setting for the eggs. If Titanoboa was oviparous, meaning it laid eggs. However, this is a topic of scientific debate. Some researchers suggest it might have been ovoviviparous, carrying eggs internally until they hatched and gave birth to live young. This question remains unresolved, as fossil evidence doesn't provide definitive answers about Titanoboa's reproductive habits. What is certain, though, is that Titanoboa, like other reptiles, was an amniote. This means its eggs, or embryos, were protected by a specialized covering, allowing them to develop in the harsh and unpredictable environment of the Paleocene. A hatchling Titanoboa, already significantly larger than most snakes today, would have entered a swampy world teeming with life. Whether these young snakes stayed under the protection of a parent or were left to fend for themselves is unknown. Modern anacondas, close relatives of Titanoboa, give birth to live young and provide no parental care, leaving the hatchlings to survive on their instincts. It's possible Titanoboa followed a similar strategy. From tiny hatchlings to apex predators, the life cycle of Titanoboa showcased its adaptability and dominance in its ecosystem. Its ability to thrive in such a challenging environment reflects the remarkable resilience and evolutionary success of these prehistoric giants. The extinction of Titanoboa is a puzzle that has intrigued scientists for years. After dominating the swamps of the Paleocene, this colossal predator disappeared, leaving behind only its fossils as clues to its fate. What could have driven such a giant to extinction? One of the most prominent theories points to climate change. During the Paleocene-Eocene thermal maximum, global temperatures began to cool, causing tropical wetland habitats to shrink. Titanoboa, being cold-blooded and reliant on a warm environment to maintain its massive size and energy needs, might have struggled to adapt as its habitat became less hospitable. Habitat fragmentation always played a significant role. The vast tropical ecosystems that once supported Titanoboa's reign started breaking apart, reducing the large swamps and wetlands it depended on. With fewer places to thrive, survival became increasingly difficult. Another crucial factor was prey decline. Changes in the ecosystem likely led to a reduction in the large reptiles and fish that Titanoboa relied on for food. With its substantial size and energy demands, a lack of sufficient prey would have been devastating. Additionally, competition from other animals, perhaps even smaller, more agile mammals, could have intensified, making survival even harder for such a specialized predator. There are also alternative hypotheses worth considering. Some researchers speculate that geological events, such as volcanic activity or asteroid impacts, might have disrupted the ecosystems Titanoboa called home. These catastrophic events could have compounded the challenges of an already changing world. Emerging predators also add an interesting dimension to the mystery. As mammals evolved and diversified, they may have presented new threats or outcompeted Titanoboa for resources. While these predators were smaller, their agility and adaptability might have given them an edge in the changing environment. Titanoboa's extinction wasn't the result of a single event, but rather a combination of factors. Its disappearance marked the end of an era where reptiles ruled the swamps, paving the way for mammals to rise and dominate the ecosystems of the future. As we close this journey into the world of Titanoboa, let's remember its legacy as a creature that redefined prehistory. If you've been as amazed by this giant as we have, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Join us for more stories of prehistoric wonders and the incredible secrets our planet has to offer. Titanoboa's tale is just one of many waiting to be uncovered.